What's up guys, Tommy Bennett here, and we're actually at Breckenridge, Colorado. In this video, I'm gonna teach you guys a couple little tips and tricks about shopping for your snowboard gear. And we're gonna go check out one of the only true snowboard shops in the area, Underground Snowboard. So we're gonna go visit the Underground Snowboard shop. I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks on how to go shopping and a couple things that I'm specifically looking for when it comes to like a snowboard, jackets, and accessories. Let's go check out the shop. All right guys, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is some snowboards. The biggest thing about finding the right snowboard is getting the right board for the right application. What are you gonna ride? Are you riding POW? Are you riding park? Are you just carving? What are you doing? And obviously you have some boards, such as a hybrid, that is trying to do a lot of everything, and sometimes they do a lot of everything good, but they don't do any one single thing great. Now, if you're just riding POW and you're going to Japan, then try to find a board that is specific for that use case, because you're gonna have the best time. And now I'm a big fan of camber snowboards because I feel it's the most stable. It's going to be able to do a lot of great things such as carving, hidden jumps, hitting rails, and I definitely go towards that. You have certain companies like Burton does have more of the channel system, so when you are buying bindings, which we'll talk about here in a second, when you're buying bindings, make sure you get bindings that have the right base plate. Sometimes you can buy a 4-hole base plate, and they do have like conversion kits. A lot of times you buy both. Make sure you're using the right bindings and base plates so that they combine. And if you can't, just go to a local snowboard shop because they're gonna be able to have the base plates for you. When you're sizing up your snowboard, a good indication of the right size is really like between the collarbone and the nose. It's a very general rule, but it can kind of get you there. But you also want to consider your weight in relation to the board. So I'm 135 pounds, and if I had a board that was like a 191, holy cow, my weight cannot really get the performance on the board that board desires or requires. So consider the height of the board as well as your weight. In addition, sometimes you want a longer board to have more of a stable feeling. If I'm just riding carving and I'm just riding open groomers and I really want to just charge that aspect, I can go a little bit bigger because I want that stable feeling. If I'm riding a lot more park, then I wanted to go a little bit lower so that I can spin the board and it feels good. But if I go too small, going into a large jump, I won't feel stable. So I really got to find the application, the size, and then also consider your weight to get the performance out of the board. Now, one of my biggest recommendations is to demo a snowboard. And what I mean by that is you can go to a shop, it's usually about 50 bucks, you can go try a snowboard. Go try a snowboard for the day. Sometimes they allow you 2 snowboards, and then you're gonna be able to test it out, see if you like it, see if you vibe with it, and then come back, and then that $50 goes towards that snowboard that is this current year, and that is what they have here. So you can put that money towards it so you don't feel so bad. But the biggest thing with that is making sure you're telling the shop representatives what the heck you really want and being honest with your skill level, the application that you're riding. Don't say, I'm the craziest, sickest snowboarder if it's your first day, right? Just be accurate to give them the most amount of knowledge and information possible to give you the opportunity to be set up for success. So give them the right information. What's your skill level? What's the application? Once you do that, they're gonna set you up with a board and go ride that board. And if you love it, come back, buy it. If you don't love it, try something else. And then when you come into a lot of these shops, they have high quality products. So you're looking at a centered base versus an extruded base. We're gonna talk about that in a nerdy video later. But when you get into centered bases, you definitely wanna look on that. So on the back of your snowboards, you guys will see like a whole like spec sheet on the back here. Centered bases are a better material, they're gonna last longer, and they're gonna be way faster. Now, when you see an extruded base, that just means it's cheaper. Cheaper material, it's not gonna be as awesome, but it's that price point. So I would say around that $450 and up, you're gonna get into that really good base material. And I love it because if I'm going into a big jump, I wanna go as fast as possible. So make sure you're getting a centered base because they're gonna be a lot more awesome, but that also does come with the price tag. But know that you're getting good value by going up. and a little bit more money. Your friend can definitely recommend a board for you, but it is part of your job is making sure that board is what you're looking for, and because it has a sick graphic, that's cool, but it may not have the right application. So I never really look at the graphics. I'm looking at the performance first, and then if the graphics are cool, cool. If it's not, I don't care. I can cover it up with a sticker or something, but I'm looking for performance over the graphics, but that's just me. When it comes to bindings, there's so many awesome options out there. A lot of bindings are either gonna be more soft, more stiff, different applications again, whether you want that performance or you're looking for a little bit more tweakability in it. So again, you can also check out different bindings. A big shout out to Board Archive. He does a whole bunch of reviews on products specifically. I will be doing some product reviews coming up this season as well, but if you're looking for like a huge database of information, check out a couple of his videos to get some good information and then come to a shop. But I am a big fan of the Burton Cartels. I've been riding these for about 5 years. Big fan, and I love the reflex version, even if it's on a channel system on a Burton. Big fan of this binding. That's the one I rock all the time, except for in a different color. And then obviously there's a lot of different companies out there. I recommend finding a company that you really resonate with their message, their vibe, their messaging, and then try a couple of their different options. There's always a good one. So bindings, and then for bindings, make sure that you're adjusting your strap so that it's in the center of the center of the strap is in the center of your boot. You can ratchet down obviously, but I don't want to max the ratchet out and not be able to actually get it any tighter. And then these are designed to actually go over your toe cap, or this toe cap goes over your toe. It does not sit up top. The thought is to be able to push your boot into the back of the high back so that you are secure against the high back and there's not a lot of play. If it's squishing down, I used to have a lot of like ankle issues, or like it would flatten on my feet and it would hurt a lot. So I like this design of them going on the toes, but you may have to adjust this so that they're like hooked in your toes. So big fan of those Burtons. They do have EST specific bindings, Burton does. I think they're a really good option. I like the versatility of having a non-EST binding, simply because if I try a different board, I can have a base plate that essentially goes to a 4-hole or a 2-hole or the channel system. So I like the traditional reflex ones personally. So let's talk about some accessories. Obviously you guys are gonna need some hats. So here they have some 3-pack 686, big shout out. If you're looking for a discount on 686, I got 10% off, link in the description below, but they have a 3-pack. I'm a big fan of these folded hats. They're really sick. Obviously these guys, Burton's got some hats as well. So always looking for a hat, big fan of that. I like these folds because it sits on my goggles nicely. It's a good time. Backpacks are always cool to have because you can stash them at the lodge, you can put your food in them. I do not recommend riding with a backpack. That's actually throws off your center of mass, makes you lean back, especially if you're on a box or rail or icy spot, you're gonna fall, not sick. You can use your generic backpack, of course, but a lot of different companies are coming out with these cool backpacks that have like little straps on them. You can actually put your board in there, but a lot of these backpacks are more designed to be weatherproof, which is cool, or weather resistant, maybe not waterproof, but they have these really cool clips where you can put this back on, and then you can put stuff in there like your snowboard, or for me, I'll put a tripod in there and stuff too. So backpacks critical to have. And then when it comes to outerwear, obviously, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, having Gore-Tex is actually a big deal. I'm gonna do another video about how to make Gore-Tex more waterproof or get your waterproof back. Subscribe so you can watch that video, it's a big deal. But I don't rock a lot of Gore-Tex stuff in Colorado because it's so cold, the snow just hits the jacket and flies off. But it's still a good option because the quality is amazing. If you wanna try bibs, bibs are really cool because if you fall, it doesn't roll your shirt up and scratch your belly. And then I am a big fan of mittens. I don't know, I think my hands get really cold in gloves, and I think mittens are more warm for me, but they also just look super cool. Oh, socks. I love merino wool socks because they last a flipping long time and they don't smell as much as like a traditional sock. So big fan of merino wool socks. They're a little bit more expensive, but I think that they last longer and they don't smell. And you can use them for 2 days instead of 1, maybe. I don't know, you do you. And then as far as layering, coming to a shop and definitely like being able to try some stuff on is cool. I like to wear a short sleeve shirt, and then I'll wear a hoodie, and then I'll wear a puffy jacket over it. And then that allows me to either drop a layer, I can drop the puffy jacket or the hoodie, or I can just add something else underneath the jacket if I need to. So definitely layering up, especially in Colorado, is a big deal, but you have a couple different options, synthetic versus cotton. Cotton can be, once you get it a little wet, it gets really saturated and doesn't dry out as well. And 686 has a waterproof hoodie that I'm gonna be getting. So here in a little bit. I'm actually gonna go through exactly everything that I'm gonna get for this season, all my gear, so obviously stay tuned for that. But layering up, kind of a big deal, and you can obviously get layer stuff underneath the pants, hoodies, long sleeves, and also consider a ninja suit or a one-piece underneath. It's kind of clutch too. So when I was a kid, I was riding for a snowboard shop, and one of my absolute favorite things about the snowboard shop was coming in and watching snowboard videos. So most places have a snowboard video to watch, figure out what that video is, and go buy it. Childhood memory, favorite thing ever. And on that note, nothing but love. We're out of here. Tindy! Big shout out to Eric. This is his idea. Rip. You put that at the end and then point at him. That was, yeah.